Hello, everybody. Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Plato's Roadshow. My name is Ricky Rocks, and in all of our future videos are going to be highly entertaining and highly informative. And I hope you subscribe and share with your friends and tell them about this channel because there's going to be nothing else like it on the internet. So I'm just a guy who has a special gift that I want to share with you. Tell you a little bit about my history. Ever since I was a kid, I've been really a very determined person. And I quit watching television back about the time I was in third grade. And the reason I did is because I was insulted by the way they spoke to us. I'm in third grade and I was being insulted by this television talking to me like I was a baby or something. And that hasn't changed. You really look at how television is, and it is really a baby parent relationship. Like they're telling you what to think, what to do, and all that. I'm here to tell you that that's a wrong paradigm, and you've got to stop. You've got to stop doing what these people are telling you to do because they're telling you everything wrong. The series of these videos and the accompanying books are called "You're Doing It All Wrong." You are doing it all wrong, and really, it's no fault of your own. It's from the fault of the people that are doing it to you. So we're going to get right into this very first one. This is called "It Is Time." Now, these books that I've written, they're written in automatic writing. As you can see, they're all handwritten. No editing. No editing. Here's an example of editing. I started misspelling a word or something. I'll cross it out. But otherwise, if you don't know what automatic writing is, it might behoove you to look into it a little bit because it is really quite a phenomenon. And I know that this is a rare thing for a person to be able to sit down and actually automatic write at will. But there's been many people who have done it not at will. Many songwriters and philosophers and physicians and people all throughout history have talked about this outside divine help. Well, that's what I'm able to do. And through time, you'll learn a little bit of my history and how this all came about. But for the time being, I have written over 100 of these books in the last decade. And they're all life lessons and things we can all learn. And I call them, "You're Doing It All Wrong," because you are, and it's through no fault of your own. You didn't program yourself. You were programmed. And my goal is to help you become unprogrammed and learn a better way. There are some real distinct messages throughout all my writings that you will pick up on over time. So let's get right into this. We'll give you a little warning right up front. Warning, this book contains vituperative expression, elucidation, demystification, crystallization, lucubrated text, contumely revilements, invictive vitriol, love, and hopium. Hey, look at that. There's a screenshot. First story right out of the chute is "It Is Time." And it is time. It's time for us to get a handle on what's going on in the world. So here we go. Now I'm going to read and throw in a couple little explanations as we do. You're not a baby in a bomb factory, are you? You're not a pig in a poke, are you? Something that's bought or accepted without knowing your value? How about a sheep in a chute or cattle chattel? You're not a chicken, are you? No. Then what are you doing on the farm? Maybe you're a guard dog used to push the sheep around, or a farmhand handling things for the corporation, or a sharecropper who has to give part of his crop as rent. Are you a shareholder in the corporation that dictates everything on the farm? How exactly are you invested? Got a little skin in the game, do you? Or all of your skin? Don't worry, the farmer tells you. We're going to take care of you. But he's spelling it E-W-E, not Y-O-U. We're going to protect you from predators until we eat you. The corporations, dead body utterances, think you are yous. And they think you are just a dumb animal. Are you? Are you a you? Let me tell you something. Things are changing on the farm. It's becoming more and more mechanized on the farm. They don't need you so much. They don't need so many farmhands anymore. The trucks that come to the farm to carry your carcasses away will be self-driving. The meat packing plants have computer-operated boxing, packaging, distribution, and disassembly systems that assure no human hands have touched you. Well, guess what? You are none of those animals, are you? Of course you're not. And it is time that you realize what's being done to you on the farm. And it is time to get your cart ass off the fucking farm. You and even the yous are a creation of God. You are of God. And you are supposed to be free, not begging for more fences to be built around you. Or how the hell can you do that and expect to be free anyhow? You quit asking for fences. The world is about to change dramatically, and I've been warning about this for decades. I've been an activist for decades. Behind the scenes, I'm the guy that finds things. That's what I do. Now, you might want to label me. You might want to say, oh, that guy's conservative or that guy's liberal, or because I'm going to get it from both sides. I'm both of them things. I'm conservative and liberal. So put whatever label you want on me. Crackpot, joker, whatever. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. But you better know something. I've been right 100% of the time. Sometimes it takes years for what I learned to come out in the public. There's that old saying about the lie can get up and make its way around the world before truth has a chance to put its pants on. Okay? The world is about to change. They're changing it on you. They're forcing it on you with all the derailments and food processing plant explosions and fires and all the disruption in the transportation and supply chain. Those things are all being done on purpose. None of this stuff happens by accident. Nothing happens by accident. Now here we are. We're facing the sheep chute that will take us to Never Never Land. And I'm afraid you will follow the rest of the dumb animals right down the chute. Everything I'm about to tell you here and now, and the only way to stop it is for you to decide, am I going to go there or not? And if you're not going to go along with all the sheeple, then you better learn, and that's what I'm here to do. So, I mean, if you're one of them people that wants to go along with everything, you go right ahead. That flag behind me is the American civil flag. It is your flag. That other flag, the one that we all consecrate with blood and revere for glory, that's a military maritime war flag. You doubt me? Look at the fringe that you find on that flag in any courtroom in the land and in every government office. And most people don't know what that fringe means. Well, before, when the forefathers were making this country and deciding things, most distant communication was done with flags. Flags are a language, okay? And that language speaks. And that yellow fringe on that flag tells you that you are at war and you are subject to the military maritime law. Now, our Congress in 1791 ratified two flags. Two flags, okay? The one that you think is your flag was only ever supposed to be flown on ships, in ports, and at forts, or carried aloft in the field by troops and no place else. That military flag has no place else to be in this country. But yet you walk into a courtroom and there it is. And by God, that flag in that courtroom is telling you that you were under military maritime law and you will be subject to military maritime law. The words shall not be infringed does not mean shall not trespass. We shouldn't trespass against this. No, it means don't put a fringe on it. They have. We're going to get into all this. You're going to learn so much, it's going to blow your mind. And that ain't clickbait. Everything I'm about to tell you here and now, and the only way to stop it is for you to decide, am I going there or not? Technology is racing way ahead of us and way beyond what we're prepared for. We really are babies in a bomb factory, and our government lacks the ability and the guts or the wisdom to figure out what the hell to do about it. And that's assuming the government is on the side of the people, not the farmers and the ranchers who are going to slaughter you. The World Economic Forum is now like a big tech convention that gives you a preview of all the latest innovations. If you want to see the coming attractions of what the farmers and the ranchers have in store for you, for humanity, all you have to do is watch the WEF's Davos, Switzerland conference. Now, I've done that for you. I did it so you didn't have to. Let me tell you what I mean. This is from a seminar at last month's Davos conference by Duke University professor Nina Farahany. Quote, she says this very sweetly. You glance at the program running in the background on your screen and notice a now familiar app that opens up whenever you're overloaded with pleasure. Your theta brainwave is decreasing in temporal regions of your brain. You mentally, as opposed to physically, move your cursor to the app icon on the program that has been recording your brain data. And you can see that over the past few hours, your stress levels have been rising as the deadline to finish your project approaches. Well, duh, that's normal. Causing a peak in your beta brainwave activity right before the alert pops up, telling you to take a break. Brain break required. That's what she's telling us. Do you see that word required? What is that supposed to mean? Watch and learn. She's going to tell you. Nita Hannanen. Your mind starts to wander to the new colleague on your team who you know you shouldn't be daydreaming about, given the policy on inter-office romance, but you can't help fantasizing just a little. Then you start to worry that your boss, who's got access to your brainwave data, will notice your amorous feelings when he or she checks your brain scan activity. So what they're saying is there's going to be somebody or an AI algorithm in another room watching everybody's brain activity. But I'm just daydreaming, you might think. There's no way they're going to be able to know what I'm dreaming about. Watch and learn. So Nita says, so you shift your brain activity back to the present, and you breathe a sigh of relief when later that day a memo pops up that says, congratulations on your brain metrics. Congratulating you on your brain metrics from the last quarter, which have earned you another performance bonus. When you arrive at work the next day, a somber cloud has fallen over the office. Along with emails, text messages, and GPS location data, the government has subpoenaed brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now they're looking for their co-conspirators. You discover that they're looking for synchronized brain activity between your coworker and the people they've been working with. And you may be surprised to learn, says Nita Farahany, that this is a future that has already arrived. So we're not talking about something down the road. They're saying right at Davos, this is the way it's going to be. Like it? She says, I just showed you a technology that is already here today. And she says it with a smile. Artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways that we never thought were possible. What do you feel? She says, it's all just data. Data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence. All right, Nina. Can you see and comprehend what they're saying? It's not just Nita Farahany. It's with the approval of the WEF. They're telling us what they're doing. They're saying that our thoughts and feelings are not ours. It's just data. Well, that may be, but it's our data, not theirs. And we've got a God-given Fourth Amendment right to protect our own data, unless we are dumb enough to give them access to it via a written contract. And I'm telling you, nobody reads those contracts. We are living flesh and blood human beings. We are not just data. But that's what they're saying, isn't it? You are data. You're not a unique, wonderfully created human, a divine being with a soul, wondrously created with God in you by God. No, you're just data. And we are going to keep you in a pen on our farm or ranch. They're telling us that we are not only data, they're claiming they have a right to hack you and program you as they see fit. Our reprogrammed whenever they say it's necessary. And I say this, if your actual thoughts can be taken, decoded, and exposed, well, then you'd be stripped of your humanity, wouldn't you? Reduced to a pulsating blob of cells plugged into the matrix. You are just sheep, and we will eat you. But for right now, as long as you comply and do what the dogs tell you to do, you're useful. Make some more milk, eggs, lanolin, and sweater material for us, will you? Do you know what that Nita witch was talking about? Or who she was talking about? You. She was talking to the ranchers and the farmers about you. And if you were one of them, I can imagine how you're worried about how to keep your cattle, chickens, pigs, sheep, and horses under control. Well, this is it. The answer to all your problems. Plug them all in. Even George Orwell, who so accurately predicted what's going on today, but 40 years too early, couldn't foresee this brainwave shit that's on the market and available today. And it's a solution tailor-made for the ranchers and farmers. They got to know if the livestock are planning something. It's the best way to control those dangerous thoughts that sheep will have. What was it the evil Nazi ringleader of the WEF, Klaus Schwab, told us last year? Oh, yeah. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. And this year, 2023, that satanic son of a bitch says, you won't own your thoughts. You will eat the bugs, and you will be happy. I must have missed the part when he said, we will own you, and we will eat you. You know, I remember a little thing. I remember when the WEF guy, that Klaus Schwab, wrote an opinion piece, and he was like, hey, I don't own anything. It's 2030, and I don't even own my thoughts or my dreams. There is no such thing as privacy, but it's worth it because it's safe. As he swings his fist across his torso, it's worth it because it's safe. He means it. Mm-hmm. That's their spokesman, their salesman talking. Nothing. Not even your thoughts, your dreams, your feelings. But what about your soul? What about that, huh? Just how fucking far will we let them go? Because that's what they are talking about. I know. Let's look at what Nita says about what it can do and how they intend to sell it to you. She's on stage pacing back and forth in front of a large projector or screen depicting an MRI-like side-to-side slice of the human brain with real-time neurons firing off in particular areas, and an outdoor photo of herself reading a book to the right of that. What we're seeing here, she says, is my brain activity, while I'm wearing a simple device like the one on the right. That's when you look back at her picture and you see a bulky black chain-like collar around her neck and a white headband with reassuring smile and calm, practiced, soothing delivery. She says, we're not talking about implanted devices of the future yet. Right there, she admits that's a real plan to implant devices in the future. So this is only temporary. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like the Apple Fitbits for your brain. They obviously think we're just dumb animals. If they want to know what I'm thinking, they can download my fucking books after I upload them. These consumer wearables are headbands, hats that have sensors that can pick up your brainwaves, earbuds, headphones, tiny tattoos that you can wear behind your ears that we can use to pick up. Yeah, like you just left your brainwaves just laying around for anyone to take. Emotional states like you are happy or sad or angry, we can pick up, she happily admits, and decodes faces that you're seeing in your mind. Simple shapes, numbers, your personal identification number to your bank account. I wonder what they'd think if they could read my face right now. What is Ricky Rocks thinking? I'd say read on. Okay, so this new insidious AI can see faces you're looking at. Or I suppose, it can figure out who you're secretly in love with. Imagine how great it'll be dating or destroying marriages with this thing. The PIN number to your bank account? But don't worry, you don't have to get one of those creepy brain implants yet. It's cute, totally fashionable, and it comes in your favorite colors. Then she goes on talking about security. Fences. How you'll need to keep the goddamn thing on and use it to keep you safe. Now she's pointing as if scolding a child for questioning in their minds. A simple wearable hat that has embedded electrosensors would pick up brainwave activities and give you a score from 1 to 5 to help the employer and employee, also known as a rancher and livestock. To help them know what stage of alertness the pigs are experiencing, or if they're starting to fall asleep, presumably so they can shock them with a cattle prod. Now you might think, she says, though it's clearly not what they want you to do, there's already driverless technology in cars. Why do we need this? But it's not what I was thinking. I was thinking they want to kick you out of the driver's seat of your own life and let them take over. She says, it's because this happens much sooner. And she says it giddily, much sooner, much more accurately, and gives us the real-time information we need in order to make choices, to intervene before a person is perilously exhausted. My God, how kind of them. We, you, me, I must not forget who the WEF is selling this load of manure to. How convenient. There just happens to be a WEF created fertilizer shortage right now. True. Again, she points the figures and says, and we as a society should want that. We should want the technology that enables us to be safer. And I say that technology already exists too. It's called guns. And dare I say the Declaration of Independence that says, in no uncertain terms, to use them on anybody from the WTF and the WEF, it's not just our right, it is our duty to throw down on them and provide new guards for our own future security. Safety first, right? That's why they put us behind fences and barns and locked in pens. This is classic rancher farmer talk, telling us what we should want. And it's always for your safety until it isn't, until it's time. And by the way, those hats, this is not one of them. Those hats, they're already being used in factories in China. So the monitor in the next room can give old Nun Wang a little shock. Isn't that great? Isn't that what you want? Give them a shock. Get them going. China is the new model. That's what all the farm hands and ranch hands are telling us. You know where all this shit leads to, right? This is how technology, like this shit show we're being sold, efficiency in the workplace or from home, we gotta keep them little doggies moving. It will always be monitoring. It knows when you've been sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows when you've been bad or good. It's Santa Claus from hell, for goodness sake. It'll shock you into compliance. It'll give you a nudge. You need to get back to work. That's great. And it also has the extra added benefit of being ESG and CRT compliant because the new retarded culture demands compliance with the extreme left socialist idiocracy. It's their new religion. All they need is some incense. Can you imagine this ridiculous conversation? Todd, we've noticed your brainwave activities, that you're having thoughts about, dare I even say it, traditional marriage? Heck, you're going to have to get back on the program, pal. Sure. Just give Todd a good shot and he'll be back on the rainbow merry-go-round dreaming of unicorns and drag queen story hours and all the things that pass for thinking in the good little sheepies and cows and chickens' minds of mush. By the way, have you ever heard of the Library of Alexandria? It was one of the 7 wonders of the world. It held all of the world's knowledge in books and manuscripts. It was one of the hugest buildings in the world at the time. Well, according to futurist Kevin Kelly, the data on you, if you maintain a presence online, would fill an average of 320 of those libraries. What? Really? But you might say, I don't have that much to tell. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And there's more of you to be captured yet. And the capturing of this next data allows you to control your corner of the pen in their safe little barn. And you don't have to have any fingers, just hooves, so you can't open anything with doorknobs. The next frontier is virtual and augmented reality. Oh, sure, a lot of people like that stuff, but it's all fun and games until it's used against you. Mark Zuckerberg's new Meta Corporation put this out. Quote, with AR glasses, the key here is to communicate with our computers in a way that's intuitive at an entirely new level. The wrist is a great starting point for us, technologically, because it opens up new and dynamic forms of control. This is where Kedrick and Brian grew up, my buddies. At any rate, this is where some of our core technologies like EMG come into play. Neural interfaces, when they work right, and we still have a lot of work to go there, feel like magic. Ooh, it's magic. It's amazing how magically magic it will magically be. Notice how magical this so-called magic really is. Notice you've got the watch. It's kind of like a Fitbit, remember? She said it can be right on your wrist and it can monitor your brain and everything. So it's not only magic, it's got one of those things too. And it's next level technology. It's a device being marketed that you're going to want. Really? Big tech sucking more information out of your soul because it feels like magic. There's a song called Magic by a group called Pilot back in 1975. And it'll be a good time to kick that one on in the background. I hate magic. It's not real. What it is the art or practice of using charms, devices, rituals, and sleight of hand to make something seem what it is not. And in that regard, it really is magic. They just announced this last month new details about Apple's mixed reality headset. It will use internal and external cameras to track your hand and eye movements, and you will be able to manipulate things and project them into real spaces. You'll be able to control your corner of the pen. You'll be able to call someone, and through the device, it'll look just like you're in your stall. They're in your stall with you. Magic on the farm. Those headsets are $3,000, but wait, those things are going to come to be dirt cheap when everyone not just the saps want one. Apple, I'm told, isn't so bad as some other big tech corporations when it comes to snatching up your data, but that's not a very high bar set there. They just don't share it as much, and that we know of, and except in China, who pays a lot. We're losing our humanity to AI. The thing that sets the American Christian people apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he will live on his knees. George Washington said that. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. That's enough for the day. First video. Went okay. I've never done this before, but hey, let's have a little fun with it. We're going to get better and better. And I tell you what, we haven't scratched the surface. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends about the channel. Please share it with people.